What's up, YouTube, and welcome back to the Knicks Cave. I'm Jan, the Knicks fan, your host, and let's get right into it. But before we do, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment. You want to know when the next video going to drop, hit the notification bell. The New York Knicks will be hosting the Phoenix Suns today at 6 p.m. at Madison Square Garden. The Suns come in here on a little streak. We'll get into that in a minute. But the Knicks are having a little home streak of their own. After beating the Miami Heat, we pushed that to a 4-game winning streak at the Garden. And I know a lot of y'all was like, where was I at on that game? And I didn't drop that video, and I apologize. But it was, I would say, spectacular, but I'm gonna say dramatic. You can say a lot of things about that game, but one thing you cannot take away from it is that we got the win. Not only did we get the win and put us in great position to get that wild card game in the end season tournament, and not only did we get to have an opportunity. Well, right now the Knicks are slated into that spot because of the point differentials and so on, who we beat and everything. But if we can beat Charlotte and the Heat can lose to or excuse me, beat Milwaukee, we should take the lead. This is just how I'm looking at it. We should take the lead in that Group B section. That round going into the knockout round. We should be the number one seed on top of that going in there, which would give us a home court advantage. But let's jump back to this Phoenix Suns New York Knicks game. The last time the Knicks played the Suns was back on January 2nd. Um, it was a totally different team. We beat them 102 to 83. Julius Randle led all scores with 28 points, 14 rebounds, and 5 assists. Jalen Brunson had 24 points, four rebounds, 6 assists, and Chris Paul not with the Phoenix Suns anymore. He had 11 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and Mikal Bridges had chipped in another 12 or 15 points. Not here at the Phoenix Suns. The Phoenix Suns is a whole different team, and one would say a better team than what they were before the last. Well, if you look at the team leaders on each team right now, you have Kevin Durant. When I say it's a whole new team, it's a whole new team. One player is not playing. That's Bradley Beal. He's out with an injury. But leading the Suns in scoring is Kevin Durant. Leaving our team is JB, Jalen Brunson. It was RJ Barrett once he came back from that injury. He hasn't been the same player he was before he got injured or the migraine headaches, but he's still averaging more points than Julius Randle. Um, but like I said, Julius Randle in my last video might be heading down to the back Mike position, or excuse me, back girl number 3. And if excuse me, man, you quickly have a good night, then he's number 4. Then I think that's Bat Mike, whatever it is. I like Batman. But anyway, let's get back to the season leaders for the respective teams, the New York Knicks and the Phoenix Suns. You have Kevin Durant leading all the Suns with 31 points a game, 5 assists, 7.1 rebounds, and he takes at least 2.3 3-point attempts per game. Where Jalen Brunson is leading New York Knicks with 24.2 points a game, 4.9 assists, 3.4 rebounds, and he makes or should I say attempt 3.1 threes a game. But actually, that's made. Let me just say made. And you want to come and say, ah, even though Durant is scoring 31 points a game and Jalen Brunson is 24, I still like Jalen Brunson's stats over Kevin Durant. Call me crazy or call me biased or whatever, but I just like the stats of being the 3-point shots being made. I mean, he's shooting a better percentage. I have to check that out in a little while. We go down his stats. But we go over to rebounds. You got Nurkic at 9 rebounds per game, and then against Mitchell Robinson, 11.3. Nurkic is actually averaging 10.6 points a game, 3.9 assists to go along with them 9 rebounds, whereas Mitchell Robinson is averaging 6.5 points, 0.5 assists. he got to get the ball to pass it. Let's be realistic. He don't get the ball enough to average at least 2 assists per game. You know what I'm saying? This is what I don't like about the offensive scheme in the New York Knicks. But whatever it you can hack it because it's working right now. So whatever is working for the New York Knicks, we's gonna have it work. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna leave it alone. Like I said, we get over to where the Phoenix Suns stands at right now as a record. They're 10-6. They're third in the West. They're first place in their division. In their last 10 games, they're 8 out of 2. Where the Knicks come in with a 9-6 record, fifth in the East, third in the Atlantic Division, and a 7-3 record in their last 10 games. The Suns had come against wins against the Grizzlies, Golden State, Portland, and two back-to-backs against the Utah Jazz. When you talk about these teams, Portland's a young team. They're struggling. Actually, they're making they're right there right now. They're surprising certain teams when they play them, but they are a young team, struggling team. So I would expect Phoenix to beat them. Grizzly hasn't looked the same, especially without Ja Morant playing. That Marcus Smart, it ain't working out too good right now, in my opinion. And then you got Golden State, which is an aging team. I know a lot of people want to say Steph Curry is still at the top of his game, but I doubt that's not my opinion. I ain't gonna say doubt it. I just say I beg to differ. That's what the word I like to use. I beg to differ. So they were impressive wins. They beat Grizzly 110-89. Then they knocked off the Golden State Warriors 123-115. Then the Portland Trailblazers 120-107. Uh, then a nail biter with the Jazz, both games, only beating them by 3 points the first game, and then another 3 points the second game, 140-137, then 131-128. So it was, right there with the Utah Jazz. As like I said, Utah Jazz is one of the best teams in this column of their last wins, in my opinion. The Suns they're looking very good. I'll get over to their defensive record in a minute, but let's talk about one thing for a second. Let's talk about how the teams match up and league rankings. Percentage wise, 47% from the field. They're ninth field goal percentage. The Knicks are 43.9, 28th. Free throws, 83% shooting. The Knicks are 72. When it comes to 3-point percentage, the Knicks are 36.9, whereas the Phoenix Suns are shooting 39.1 from downtown. Respectively, the Knicks are in ninth and the Phoenix Suns are in third. This should be an interesting game because, like I said, Jalen Brunson take more shots, more 3-pointers, and make more 3-pointers than Kevin Durant. I know Kevin Durant. When we think of Kevin Durant, we think of a knockdown jump shot shooter. Kevin Durant is good. But this Phoenix Suns have his weaknesses. Let's go over to total rebounds and see what they do on the rebound perspective. Uh, they grab 43 rebounds a game, whereas the Knicks was 47. The Knicks are first in the league. They're 19th. We got to get on and hit the boards to beat this team. We really got to get the rebounds, control on boards. And that game against the Heat, the Knicks have, 40 defensive rebounds and only 6 offensive rebounds. So we really was crashing them boards, and we didn't get that many attempts as we usually get in the game. But what we're gonna have to do in this game, we really gonna have to crash the balls and get them rebounds and get out on the floor running so that we can get a nice fast break going, get Julius Brown open looks in the fast break. And for once this get some nice easy baskets. And that all start with the rebound. Um, Turnovers, the Knicks are averaging 12.3 turnovers a game, third in the league. Phoenix Suns are averaging 4.8, 14.8, excuse me, they 24th. Assist to turnover ratio 1.9 for the Knicks, 1.8 for the Suns. The Knicks are 12th, 18 for the Suns. Block shots, the Suns are 6.9 shots a game, putting them first in the league. And the Knicks is terrible when it comes to block shots. We average 2.5, and that's last in the league. Let's be honest. I almost thought about the football, but that's last in the league. Like I said, a lot of things are gonna have to change. Not have to change with the New York Knicks, but in this game, we're gonna have to play our best. We're gonna have to get out on the board, the breaks. The Phoenix Suns like to run. That coach played a lot of players. Now he'll just focus on 10 men. He have a bigger rotation than just 10 men. As you can see here, he do play a lot of his players, and he give them significant minutes. If you look up to his like from 1 to 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 players is averaging more than 10 minutes per game. And then you have like Lee and Metu and Azubuki and Bull 3 minutes per game. But if you look at how he run his rotation, he's not scared to change it up if he see a player that's not playing, performing well. Um, Whereas Tibbs like to stick with his same rotation. Kevin Durant, as I said, lead all scores with 31 points. Then you got Devin Booker with 29 points. You got Bradley Beal with 17 points a game, but Bradley Beal is not going to be playing. He's hurt. Um, Eric Gordon knocked down threes at 38%, so we're going to have to stay on him. He's averaging 14 points a game. Grayson Allen, another 11 points. Nurkic, 11, 10-point game. Eubanks, 7. Um, Knicks going to have their hand cut out with them. Really going to have their hands full, excuse me. They work cut out for them and their hands full because Phoenix is going to try to push it to the Knicks. Like I said, in their last 10 games, they're 8-2, coming off a 5-game winning streak, trying to come into the Garden and keep their winning streak alive. I know that game against the Heat was, like I said, spectacular, dramatic, whatever you want to call it. It still was a win. Um, Honestly, I was a little disappointed in the game because if we started that game out on a 10-0 run, then if I'm gonna say the Suns, the Heat just came back, took over. It all into the third quarter, which it was looking like the Knicks could hold their own. But like I said, at one point we had 10 points to their one. And I know, in the NBA leads is hard to hold, but we should have never been down 21 points. That's all I'm gonna say. We should never been down 21 points. Yes, we went into the fourth quarter, cutting that lead to 16 points. Yes, like I said, the ending was spectacular. It gave the crowd something to cheer about, but we should have never been in that position. Uh, Nonetheless, we got the win. It pushed us into fifth place in the East. Now we will be taking on one of the what you want to say dominant teams in the West. I know Phoenix Suns didn't start off that dominant, but they're looking very dominant right now. So the Knicks is going to have their work cut out for them. Um, it's a game I'm looking forward to because we can kind of measure our team with each success or each game that we do win. And I think if we come out and we'll be able to hand the Suns a good, uh, a butt whooping, I was gonna say get a good victory. Saying at least beat them by 10 points, 7 points. I mean, a win is a win. But if we could come out and at least get a double deficit victory over this team, it would do a lot for the confidence. And I can hear the haters and announcers and everybody talking about have the Knicks this blah blah blah. You know how they do. We know how we do once a team do something that we unexpected. But I think the Knicks have a very good chance in this game. I think we might walk out victorious. I know on defense, the Suns is very kind of stingy, but they are letting these teams average at least 45% from the field goal on the floor scoring. And they give up 113 points a game. So I don't know. Like they get out on a run. I think the Knicks should walk away with this victory. It's a home game coming off that victory against the Heat. I know emotions is probably still high. They don't want to get in that position. I know the coach is going to preach that to them in the locker room. We can't get down 21 points. Not against this team. Not against this team. And the reason I say not against this team, because you look at the Heat have been having success and they've been playing very well. But if you look at who lead them in scoring, and he was not in that game, so that's another reason why I said it. It was a good win because a win is a win, but the Knicks should really have beat that team. I know everybody want to talk about Jimmy buckets and how he played. Butler is a very special talent and Bayado, he was out the game before with a hip problem. They brought him back. I got a feeling the coach wanted him to play against the Knicks. That rivalry, they brought him. He played that game because he set out against the loss against the Nets. So if the hip was really bothering him that much, you know what I'm saying? Why did he play the Knicks? Because they really wanted that victory, and they almost had that victory with their leading scorer Tyler Hero out. And ever since Tyler Hero sat down, he had been playing some very good basketball. He leads them in scoring, I think, with 24 points a game. But when he's on the floor, I don't know. I think that he's going to really be looking to move this man, Hero, that is, because as good as the Heat is, when he's on the floor or playing with them, they don't look like the team they look without him. They actually look like a better team without Hero, if I'm pronouncing his name right. But we're gonna jump back to this Phoenix game. This is a game I think the Knicks can take. Um, it's right there. You know what I'm saying? I know they got Kevin Durant. They got Booker. Like I said, one of the other stars is out, Bradley Bill. But in my opinion, Kevin Durant is an aging star, just like LeBron James. They doing what they got to do for their teams, but he's not a player that's going to put much body. He's not really physical. And if I was Tom Thibodeau, I would draw up a physical game plan for this man. This is when I would insert, somebody like Jericho Sims. I know Jericho Sims won't be able to stay with him, but just to give him some hard fouls, get him irritated and upset, so that he start making bad decisions on what to want to get busy or whatever the case may be. Take him out of his mindset for this game. Coaches don't do that anymore. They used to have Rodman and players back in the days, like my man Ben Wallace, that would come in and just give you fouls. I know the game changed a lot, but you can still gotta have a designated asshole on your team. Somebody that's gonna go out there and just always mess with the other player's psyche. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing I like about Draymond Green. I hate his antics, but really, let me just back that up. Kevin Garnett was a master at that. He would just get into players' head every night, no matter who he was playing. He found a way to get into your head and really cause some players to have bad games if they could rise above the occasion. But I'm looking forward for a victory today against the Phoenix Suns. They're not unbeatable. They're coming in with a 5-game win streak. You know what I'm saying? Um, and it's time to get a letdown. It's time for a letdown. What do y'all think? Hit me in the comments. Let me know. Do you think the Knicks will walk away with this game? If not, do you think this will be some type of uh what we can look at and grade this team if how we play, or if this is just another one in the mill game of the season? And I can't just say regular one in the mill game, because every game is important. 82 games in the season, and we need every game to advance and get to our goals, which will be the playoffs. But this game right here is very intriguing. I want to see how the coach call it. I want to see, can we compete against them big teams in the West. Play Minnesota. Minnesota, some would say it was like a mirror team, but it is what it is. We walked away with a loss. So I'm hoping we get a victory to keep the home game winning streak alive. And before I leave, one thing I want to say, I love that in season basketball court. The Knicks home court, I think that's like the third best home court in the end season, the way it looked. That's just my opinion. I like the Phoenix ones too. All right, y'all, I'm out of here. And with that being said, I want everybody to stay safe, stay healthy. God bless, and peace.